I have heard that if you open a 5-pound can of worms, you will need a 10-pound can to repack them all. What a fitting analogy for today's video. Running a little late today on Monday the 25th, January 2021. No, I did not get up late. I was getting stuff done. It snowed last night, which makes my pre-dawn work much more difficult. Okay, look at the title of this video, people. The holy, quote-unquote, sea of the sea. And what in the F am I talking about here? Well, let's talk about the Pope. And don't forget there are two of them. Don't forget about the Black Pope of the Jesuits. Yeah, remember what I see hiding behind every tree? A Jesuit, a Mason, and a Murray. Not a dime's worth of difference there, people. The Pope claims to be the vicar of Christ. He sits in the place of your Jesus on this earth. And one of the unholy trinities. The unholy trinities, huh? Well, in my opinion, all Trinity doctrines are unholy, but this particular one that's very dangerous is a trinity of the Vatican City, which is the spiritual center of Satan's earth, the City of London, it's the economic center, powerhouse, and the District of Criminals, yeah, Washington, D.C. and Maryland, the military world center of power. So, I have been left to do my own research, and some of these arguments and some of these concepts I've stumbled across throughout the years. You know, remember now, one of my attributes is a freelance investigator with an action-packed expense account, and I'm finding that all roads lead back to the same hole, people. We are enslaved. It's an illusion of freedom, and if you think there's justice, you just haven't been around long enough to experience it. So I got court dates bearing down on me all over the place, and I got to do some of my own homework here, because it's going to be tough finding a lawyer. I'll get to that here a little bit later on in this short video. Okay, you know, history does repeat itself, and you are doomed if you won't study it. You know, I mean, there's some points to ponder here, people. Did the English bankers, now let me tell you something, wherever there's a banker involved, you gotta watch out. Did the English bankers win the war that the English army lost in 1776? And here's a good idea for you. Coming up February 6th, why don't you celebrate a real American's birthday? Yeah. And who am I talking about? Aaron Burr. Well, who's he? He was the third vice president under Thomas Jefferson. And what great deed did he accomplish? He shot that no-good son of a bitch, Alexander Hamilton, who was an agent of the English banksters, who tried to give us our first central bank. And I think he succeeded. Yeah, so you want to celebrate a real American hero? There's one for you, Aaron Burr. Now, when I was in school, Aaron Burr was a traitor who shot a great man. My ass. Okay. Hey, are we still colonists of England? I mean, some serious stuff here, people, that I've been getting into. Like I said, I'm unpacking worms, and repacking them's going to be a bitch. You guys know what the law merchant of old is, and it's now codified in the Uniform Commercial Code? Ask any one of your friendly Masonic lawyers or bankers. And they don't want to tell you too much about it. Uniform Commercial Code. Think you got constitutional rights? Think again, dummies. Have we been birthed? Now, you can spell it B-I-R-T-H-E-D or B-E-R-T-H, like you birth a ship, and there's a hell of a lot of story to this one, but I'm going to just glance over it. I'll give you more details in future videos. But have we been birthed through a canal into the sea? Are we merely dead men adrift in the eyes of the law? Are we abandoned cargo? You know, the captain of a ship is law unto themselves. I don't care if it's a military captain or a merchant ship captain. They can make anything, no matter how trivial, a high crime, and deliver horrific punishment. Navy captains, 06, and admirals on above, wear a lot of gold on their caps. They call it scrambled eggs, but it's symbolic gold. It's very similar to the gold-fringed flag that you see in courtrooms and government businesses. Now, are they denoting admiralty jurisdiction, another form of law foreign to the common law? I don't want to sound like one of these patriot tax protesters, people. And I know a lot of these arguments have been advanced in the past, and the courts held them as frivolous. But shut my mouth. Truth is not to be found in courts, people. District Federal Judge Stern, in a teaching seminar, once said, Truth has no place in a courtroom. It matters not what the color of the traffic light was. What matters is what color does the jury believe it was. Yeah, you can see where I'm a screwed pooch. I ain't looking forward to February 2nd, 10:30 in the morning, Bottineau County Courthouse. Anyway, let's get back to this gold fringe flag just for a moment. If you look in Title 4 of the United States Code, annotated, Chapter 1, Section 1 and 2, they describe the American flag and they make allowances for additional states coming into the Union. I don't see no gold fringe. In fact, if you go to Section 3, there's a misdemeanor punishment by defacing the flag or using it in commercial applications. Even the thin blue line, people, it's not the American flag. No. Truth is stranger than fictions. How about this one? Are there two United States? One a foreign corporation created by the State, ein Reich, ein Welt, ein Führer. And who owns the state? Yeah, it's our friendly banksters. I've said this in previous videos, people. I just love it when people go, well, I talked to my banker. Well, I talked to my lawyer. No, you didn't. Your banker, he owns you. You're his bitch. Get over it. Understand your status. God, there's nothing more pathetic than slaves who think they're free. Okay, people, what is the American Bar Association? And are there any licensed lawyers? I say no. No way in hell. How dare you say something like that? Well, you understand the separations of powers doctrine? You got a legislative branch, an executive branch, and a courts, judicial branch. They all jealously, I don't know what's wrong with my mouth today. I got the day off. They all jealously guard their respective sovereignty and their limited duties. So, in other words, legislatures do not take on court cases don't pass laws, oh yes they do, and the executive branch does not legislate. They administer the laws legislated by the legislature. Was that doublespeak? No. So, the executive branch is the license grantor, like to bars, like to restaurants, like to doctors, like to electricians. How about hunters? How about motor vehicle operators? You know what I mean? Driver's license. But you know what the executive branch of no state in the union does? They don't license lawyers. No, they walk around with a private union card to the American Bar Association, founded in Illinois, spread out to the remaining 50 states, with great ties to the Masons, to the City of London, and they get a judicial wink by the state Supreme Courts. Yeah, check it out yourself, people. I'll argue that any day. Nobody's going to listen to my arguments, but ain't no licensed lawyers. And let me wrap this up real quick. Speaking of lawyers, man, I'm just struggling to find any lawyer out there that's willing to take on a Title 42, Section 1983 cause of action, violation of your humble, fluid, flexible messenger's civil rights. I'm fast coming to the conclusion, people, that white men, also known as domestic terrorists, don't have civil rights. We apparently can only violate the civil rights of others. And I'm not finding a whole lot of luck in someone that wants to take on an appeal on the great sentencing that takes place February 2nd, 10:30 at the Bottineau County Courthouse. I did find a lawyer who is a tax attorney, and if I understood him right, the only case he's interested in is my criminal one coming up in April. Doesn't want to touch the first two, that being the civil rights and the appeal. But he did give me some advice if I understood him right, and that was on February 2nd at 10:30 at the Bottineau County Courthouse. In open court, apologized to the governor of the great state of North Dakota in court and asked the judge for leniency. In other words, I made a mistake. Well, I'll tell you what, people. Be a cold day in hell before I apologize to Governor Doug Gates. Mark that on your calendar. So no, I expect the worst. I expect to be fleeced out of $5,000. Could be surprised, but go in there with both eyes open. I'm going to check out that flag. Bet it's got a gold fringe on it. Not going to raise that argument, people. The courts have held universally that is frivolous. Yeah, truth is frivolous. Ask Judge Stern. Okay, people. It is literally a dark winter. It snowed last night. I got stuff to do, man. I got a pile of stuff to do. I got the day off, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to be laying around. All right, you guys enjoy the dark winter.